The House will come to order. Today's Pledge of Allegiance is by Li Kai Jiao and Alexander Hutchins from the University of Denver, and they are guests of Representative Valdez.
Please join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Representatives Arndt, Becker J. Excuse. Becker K. Beckman. Benavides. Benavides. Bridges. Buck. Buckner. Carver. Catlin. Coleman. Covarrubias. I am here. Danielson. Escar.
Excused.
Everett. Exum. Foote. Garnett. Janal. Gray. Gray. Excuse. Hamner. Excuse. Hanson. Excuse. That's right. Herod. Here. Putin. Here. Humphrey. Jackson. Excused. Kennedy. Kraft Tharp. Landgraf. Lawrence. Lee. Leonard. Lewis. Liston. Representative Gray is present. Lontine. Lundeen. McKean. Excused. McLaughlin. Melton. Excused. Michelson Janae. Excused. Neville. Pabon. Excused. Pedersen. Excused. Oh, Representative Pedersen is present. Rankin. Ransom. Ryer. Roberts.
I need permission, 2 seconds of permission to put my PowerPoint for resolution.
Rosenthal. Sane. Salazar. Sandridge. Sias. Singer. Excused. Thurlow. Valdez. Van Winkle. Weissman. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Winter. Representative Melton is present. Wist. Young. Madam Speaker.
Are you ready to read it at length? If I move that we read it?
Jackson.
You ready to read?
Michelson,
And then we can move that the reading of the journal be commenced with? You don't want it read? We never get to read it. We always dispense with the reading. It's boring. Oh, we'll read it. I'm filling in. I'm just...
Representative Hamner is present.
I'm just here because Hanson's gone. So I don't know.
With 56 present and 8 excused, we do have a quorum. Representative Bridges.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the reading of the Journal of Tuesday, March 20th, 2018 be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
And definitely not read, right, Representative Bridges?
If the clerk would like to read it, I've never heard the journal read.
Oh, I think we have other things to do. All right, members, you have heard the motion. All of those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying no.
No.
The motion passes. We have announcements and introductions now, and I have several. Representative Pedersen will replace Representative Jackson on the Transportation Committee. Representative Coleman will replace Representative Michelson Janae on Finance. Representative Van Winkle will replace Representative Williams on State Affairs today only. Carolyn, here you go. Thank you. All right. Announcements and introductions. Representative Arndt, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I mentioned this yesterday, but today I have a more formal announcement about Ag Day tomorrow, March 22nd, starting at 11 and going to 1. Again, do not eat breakfast. You will be sorry, because tomorrow, some of the best chefs in Colorado with fresh food from our ag producers will be here. So meet and celebrate Colorado farmers, ranchers, and agribusiness, working hard every day to provide safe, nutritious foods to Coloradoans while supporting the local economy and protecting wildlife habitats. Don't miss the famous cook-off competition that features the teaming up of local chefs with lawmakers and ag representatives to create delicious dishes from Colorado-grown foods. Come and meet with council members, farmers, ranchers, the chefs, agribusinesses to learn how you can support the ag industry. And I'm on Team Egg and the egg producers, and there will be a vote at the end, so we appreciate your vote for the egg producers.
All right, thank you, Representative Arndt. That sounds great. Further announcements or introductions? Representative McLaughlin. All right, members.
Madam Chair, I have a tribute to give.
Yes, just one moment. That's what we Members, we have a very important tribute this morning. Can we have your attention? Representative McLaughlin and Representative Catlin.
Thank you. Would you please read the tribute aloud? Thank you.
The House of Representatives convened in the 71st General Assembly hereby extends sincere commendations to Southern Ute Indian Tribe and Ute Mountain Ute Tribe. We are proud to recognize the state of Colorado's oldest continuous residents, the Southern Ute Indian Tribe of Ignacio and Ute Mountain Ute Tribe of Towak. These communities, currently made up of 7 bands, Mowacha, Capota, Wemanuche, Tabawach, White River, Yampa, Grand River, and Yuntah that make up 3 tribal nations have played a unique and distinguished role in our state's history and culture, as well as provided vital contributions to government, medicine, education, religion, the environment, and the military. The members of the Colorado House of Representatives remain committed to maintaining a strong, respectful relationship between our state government and the sovereign Native American nations with whom we share this state. On request of Representatives Barbara McLaughlin and Mark Catlin, given this 21st day of March 2018, State Capitol in Denver.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor and a privilege to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you as well.
Thank you. Today is a special day, members. We have the Ute Mountain Tribe and also the Southern Ute Tribe. They're very special people. They've been here much longer than any of us have. But one of the things I wanted to say quickly about them is that the state of Colorado honors the contributions and sovereignty of both the Ute Mountain Ute Tribe and the Southern Ute Indian Tribe and encourages its Colorado citizens to actively seek knowledge about the history and the heritage of the Ute people in this state, past, present, and future. These folks have been taking care of this land for an awful long time. I think the state of Colorado could learn a lot from the Ute Mountain people and from the Southern Ute. They love the land. They've loved it for a long time. I am honored to represent the Ute Mountain Tribe in my district. I would like to introduce some of the people that are here in Denver today. And if you get an opportunity today, please greet them and tell them that you're proud of them for being here. I'd like to say good morning and welcome to Chairman Harold Cuthair, Councilwoman Juanita Plentyholes,
Stand up one more time. Thank you.
Junior Miss Ute Mountain Princess Alaya Jacket, and Little Miss Ute Mountain Patchoon Collins. And also I would like to thank Mr. Terry Knight for today's blessing. Please help me to welcome these folks.
Representative McLaughlin.
Did you say McLaughlin or Becker? Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker. Can't even hear my own name. I cannot add much more than what my friend Representative Catlin has said. We are so proud to have the culture and the clarity of vision that these people add to our communities, and we couldn't be prouder to represent you and to have you in our lives. And I would like to introduce some members of the Southern Ute Tribe, which are in my district. We have Chairman Christine Sage and Councilmember Cedric Chavez. So please give them a round of applause, and we're so happy to have you here. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, members, and on behalf of the entire General Assembly, thank you for joining us today. Further announcements or introductions, Representative Willett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's related to this issue. For each of the last 4 years, I've gotten up here to talk about my home district, Delta, part of my district, and my hometown, and the famous Ute Council tree. And we have an image here. And I've talked about the Ute Council tree each year and honored the Utes and talked about growing up and learning about Chipeta and Ouray. Well, the reason I'm doing something more this year is, sadly, this tree, they date to about 1776, so it's about the age of the country. And as you can see, there's workers here. It finally started collapsing, and the limbs would weigh thousands of pounds and be full of gallons of water, so they had to fell the tree. The base is still standing. They poured concrete into it and put a plaque on it. Lest you think this is just a tree, a little history. In 1930, it was first recognized by the Daughters of the American Revolution, and a plaque in honor of Chief Ouray and his wife Chipeta was affixed. Then, in 1962, it made the listing of the famous and historic trees of the United States. Most importantly and impressively, in 2000, it received the Millennial Landmark Tree Award, so it was Colorado's only tree. Each state got one tree that went to the Millennial Tree, and it was this Ute Council tree in Delta. So in Delta, we had Roubidoux, who was French. We had Dominguez and Escalante, Spanish. We had the Uncompahgre. We had Thunder Mountain. We had the Utes. Back then, there were 7 tribes, I believe. Now it's primarily Ute, Mountain, Northern, and Southerns. So the Delta Historical Society, I'll wind up here, took pieces of the tree when it was felled and cut them into these nice rounds. And so I would like to make a presentation to our Ute friends of a round from the tree, and I also have one each for our caucuses, our Republicans on this side and our Democrats on that side. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Willett. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I need to call down the Capitol Choir again this week. Guess whose birthday it is today? No, nobody guessed. It's Representative Melton's birthday today. And I remember last year he had this wonderful balloon that played a Star Wars theme. Remember that? Remember that? Hello, we have our Capitol. Wow, that was quick. You guys were really listening today. Thank you. Are we ready to serenade Representative Melton for his birthday today? We ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Representative Melton. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Nice job. Woo!
America. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Pabon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, listen up. Lunch today. Who wants lunch today? Raise your hand if you're, we got a few lunch needs here. So today is the Colorado Tech Caucus. We will be meeting at noon in Senate Committee Room 357. There was a calendar invite that was sent out to each and every one of you, personally from me, to make sure you knew about the Tech Caucus. We're going to talk about the latest blockchain technology and how Colorado can become a leader on blockchain policy. It's going to be very exciting. This is one you don't want to miss. So noon today, Senate Committee Room 357. We will see you there with bells on. Lunch today at noon, Senate Committee Room 357. We might even have birthday cake for Representative Melton. It's hard to say. You just got to show up, see what happens.
Further announcements or introductions? Any further announcements or introductions? All right. Seeing no further announcements or introductions, nor tributes, that takes us to third reading of bills, final passage. Miss
Madam Majority Leader, are we voting on this one? Are you referring it back? You're referring it back? Yeah, I have. She gave me an amendment. Okay, and you're referring it back for amendment. Okay.
Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1089.
House Bill 1089 by Representative Benavides, considering reform of pretrial criminal procedures in connection with prohibiting use of monetary bonding except for certain defendants, requiring courts to conduct telling hearings to reconsider monetary conditions of bond under certain circumstances.
Representative Benavides.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I move that House Bill 1089 as amended be referred back to second reading for consideration of a substantive amendment.
All right, that is a proper motion. Seeing no objection, that motion stands. All right, so that takes us to Senate Bill 104. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 104.
Senate Bill 104 by Senator Donovan, House Representatives Willett McLaughlin, concerning requirement that the Broadband Deployment Board file a petition with the Federal Communications Commission to seek a waiver from the Commission's rules prohibiting state aid from applying for certain federal money earmarked for financing broadband deployment in remote areas of the nation.
Oh, nice job. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 104 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is a passage of Senate Bill 104 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Everett. Please close the machine. With 44 yes votes, 17 no votes, 3 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 104 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsored for rural broadband. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1040.
House Bill 1040, Representative Benavides, Senator Fields, concerning a Senator's provision of sex offender services in the Department of Corrections.
Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1040 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of House Bill 1040 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 52 yes votes, 9 no votes, 3 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1040 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1069.
House Bill 1069, by Representative Zartan, third law, Senator Quorum, concerning the allowable uses of reclaimed domestic wastewater in connection therewith, allowing reclaimed domestic wastewater to be used for toilet flushing and making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1069 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1069 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote.
Right after thirds.
Please close the machine. With 47 yes votes, 14 no votes, 3 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1069 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to labor House Bill 1092 one day to Thursday, March 22nd.
All right, seeing no objection, House Bill 1092 will be laid over. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1118.
House Bill 1118, by Representatives Janal and Beckman, all Senators Aguilar and Crowder, concerning the creation of the statewide healthcare review committee to study healthcare issues that affect Colorado residents throughout the state and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1118 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of House Bill 1118 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Barnes. Please close the machine. With 46 yes votes, 15 no votes, 3 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1118 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to labor House Bill 1132 one day to Thursday, March 22nd.
Seeing no objection, House Bill 1132 will be laid over 1 day. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1147.
House House Bill 1147 by Representative Janelle on ransom on Senator Quorum concerning continuation of the regulation of people who modify the weather in connection therewith implementing sunset review recommendations of the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I moved for the passage of House Bill 1147 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1147 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Hooton, Representative Humphrey, Landgraf, Liston, McKean, and Sandridge, please vote. Representative Liston? Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 9 no votes, 2 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1147 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Ms. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1256.
House Bill 1256 by Representatives Duran and Herald, Senator Gardner concerning continuation of the regulation of civil rights issues in connection therewith implementing the recommendations of the Department of Regulatory Agencies 2017 Sunset Review and Report on the Colorado Civil Rights Division, the Colorado Civil Rights Commission to continue division and commission making and appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1256 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is passage of House Bill 1256 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 36 yes votes, 26 no votes, 2 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1256 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. All right, that takes us to the end of third reading. It's my understanding there's going to be a resolution by Representative Covarrubias and Representative Coleman. So can we have some procedural motions on the floor to get there? Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for immediate consideration. Oh,
Yeah,
it hasn't been introduced. We'll wait for that.
we have to introduce it, suspend the rules, then go to the resolution. Mr. Randall.
House Resolution 1006 by Representatives Covarrubias and Coleman concerning the recognition of the importance of trades in today's workforce in connection therewith designating March 21st, 2018 as Colorado Trades and CTE Day.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to suspend the rules for the immediate consideration of House Resolution 1006.
Seeing no objection, we will suspend the rules for the immediate consideration of H.R. 1006. Representative Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move House Resolution 18-1006 and ask it to be read at length.
All right, it's been properly moved. Mr. Randall.
Whereas skilled trades have not yet received the recognition they deserve, and whereas a competitive global economy requires workers who are trained in skilled trades, and whereas, according to the most recent National Association of Manufacturers survey, 80% of respondents indicated a moderate to severe shortage of qualified skilled production employees, including frontline workers such as machinists, operators, craft workers, distributors, and technicians. And whereas Career and Technical Education, CTE, ensures that competitive and skilled workers are ready, willing, and capable of holding jobs in high-wage, high-skill, and in-demand career fields, such as science, technology, engineering, mathematics, nursing, allied health, construction, information technology, energy, sustainability, and many other career fields that are vital in keeping Colorado competitive in the global economy. And whereas, according to the Federal Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the 3 fastest growing occupations require an associate's degree or a degree with fewer requirements, and each has an annual median salary greater than $50,000. And whereas the average annual wage for a Coloradan employed in construction is $57,581. And whereas there are more than 155,000 Colorado men and women employed in a skilled trade. And whereas skills learned through an on-the-job and classroom apprenticeship program provide graduates with meaningful opportunities to advance to management, executive, and business ownership positions. And whereas many skilled trade apprenticeship programs offer free training to enrollees and place students directly in hands-on work environments. And whereas approximately 60,000 more workers will be needed by 2023, and 70% of those will be working for subcontractors. And whereas men and women in skilled trades contribute to creating the infrastructure necessary to maintain the booming economy in Colorado. And whereas men and women in skilled trades, such as linemen, pipe fitters, excavators, steel workers, and welders, are often part of first response teams who help rebuild communities after natural disasters, taking an on great personal risk to ensure public safety in these communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 71st General of the General Assembly of the State of Colorado, that we, the Colorado General Assembly, recognize the importance of skilled trades to both our economy and infrastructure, recognize skilled trade workers as essential and valuable assets for the success of Colorado, encourage students to explore career and technical education paths that are not traditionally taken but lead to competitive salaries and meaningful careers, and that we designate Wednesday, March 21st, 2018, as Colorado Trades and CTE Day.
Representative Covarrubias.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honored to serve with you. Please have a seat.
It's an honor to serve with you as well.
Colleagues, many of you know I grew up in the excavation and infrastructure business. My dad started out working on the Eisenhower tunnels with my uncles up here in Colorado, went to work for the refinery, and started his own excavation company with some training and some education behind it. We've been in business for 39 years here in Denver and in the Colorado area, and that's no easy task. We have 63,000 kids graduate every year from our high schools here in Colorado. After 6 years, 48,000 of those kids still have no certifications of any sort, not a bachelor's degree, not a journeyman's ticket. What the goal is here is so that we need to rebuild our up-and-coming workforce, because we will pass an infrastructure bill and a transportation bill here in the House and the Senate one of these days, and we're going to need people to do those jobs. I was a lead foreman for Xcel Energy, and the apprenticeships that we go through, they're 4-year apprenticeships, and the gas fitter side, the lineman side, and these are nothing that are easy. You have to work all day, do your bookwork at night, and you only get 3 strikes. If you turn in your paperwork late, strike 1. You miss a day, strike 2. So you could get 3.5 years and still be subject to a strike 3 on your apprenticeship. As you're going through it, every 6 months you get an increase. Every time you test out on the next step, you get an increase in pay, which is wonderful as you're moving along in your career. And by the time you get your journeyman's ticket, you can work anywhere in the entire world and around the country. And a lineman are in excess of 120,000 plus. Gas fitters are 110 plus, depending on the overtime. This is hard work. These apprenticeships are not easy, and there's a lot of book training in them. The stack of books is 2.5 feet high, what you have to go through in order to do these type of careers. But one of the things that I think is really amazing with our contractors and companies in the state of Colorado is when they see you have some skin in the game, they will help to pay for your higher education. So if you want to go on and get your bachelor's and master's, you're going to get a lot of that help from Mortenson and Xcel Energy and United Power and these sort of companies. And it really, it helps the way that we pay for our education and the way that we train our people. One other thing I'd like to touch on is the safety and training. These people that climb these poles in the ice storms or when we have fires and tornadoes, we are a part of the first responders because you show up to these towns with FEMA and their whole world is completely torn apart. The whole neighborhood is nothing but splinters, but oddly enough, the grill didn't move after a tornado. And that's really a weird thing to see, but to be able to get people back online with power, with heat, with hot water, the gratitude that they show as we're trying to put their towns back together is unbelievable. And we send people all over. We have crews in Puerto Rico right now trying to help them get back online because our energy and is so hugely important to how we live as a society. These people put their lives on the line every day as well because this is dangerous work. I've seen people buried alive. I've seen people lose limbs. And it all goes back to more safety and training so that our folks come home every day alive and with all their faculties about them. I do want to thank a couple of people. We have our nursing students from Pitkins over here and some sheet metal workers and different tradesmen over here on this side of the room. And I'd just like to say thank you for showing up to the Capitol because it's not only construction. You have cosmetology, dental assistant. I mean, it's auto tech. It's amazing how many trades there are in our industry so that people can start making money, further their career and what it looks like in their dreams.
Representative Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So the average cost of a bachelor's degree at a college or university in the U.S. is $127,000. And one of the reasons I say that is because I believe that every child should be educated and prepared academically to go on to college, but if it's their choice to determine whether or not they want to go to work or they want to go back to school once they graduate from high school, I think that's a very compelling number. There's also a lot of job potential in skilled trades. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts rapid growth for several skilled trade jobs over the next few years. Construction labor jobs should increase by 13% between 2016 and 2026, which is faster than average growth. This translates to more than 183,000 jobs that should open up by 2026. For plumbers, for pipe fitters, for steam fitters, the growth rate prediction is 16%, which is much faster than average. And then lastly is earning potential. You don't have to sacrifice earning potential by choosing a skilled trade. According to statistics from the BLS, the average annual income for a worker in an office administrative support job is $34,410. But the average annual income for construction workers is $44,960. So skilled tradesmen and tradeswomen can also grow and advance in their careers. And this is especially true for those who specialize in a certain skill or trade. So whether it's your choice to go to college or go into the workforce, whether it's your job potential to grow or it's earning potential, these are all really key reasons why I think it's important that we have this resolution today and we support the trade industry.
Representative McCain.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you, too.
You know, I've been working in the trades for a long time. I'm a general contractor. I get to hire a lot of people who do amazing things for me. But I come up here a lot to tell you about the conversations I have with my kids, because I think those are the ones that really hit home to all of us. I have two kids who are so different that it's hard to fathom that they come from the same parents. But I have a son who absolutely needs to do things with his hands. And so I've told him, you know, for years, you want to go to college, we'll get you through college. You want to build a business, we'll help you build a business. The path in our family, and the path in a lot of families these days, is exactly that, an equal opportunity to go into business for yourself, go into a business building and doing things, or go to school, get training, get a career, and move on that way. The amazing thing is that as we've been proposing bills in these last couple of years, one of the big pushes that I see happening now, which is an exciting and absolutely visceral time to be involved in education, is to look at how our schools play a role in this. And I love what Representative Covarrubias was talking about, how you can go get an apprenticeship, how you can go through that whole process, and then those companies will help you go back to school. My encouragement would be this, that those kids you know who are going into high school who are just slightly uncertain of what they want to do, that you give them that encouragement to go learn a trade, that you give them that fallback position, because the world's not always hiring architects, the world's not always hiring various things. I went to Colorado State University. To get out quickly, I've decided liberal arts is not a bad degree to have. I don't know how you use a liberal arts degree. I also don't know many of the people that I graduated with other degrees that are using their degrees. But I will tell you this, the kids that did their summers working on electrical projects or plumbing or framing, those kids always had a fallback to help them get through school and to make it through difficult times. The trades are essential. We're seeing that right now in our housing cost. Costs go up when you don't have enough workers. And I'll tell you what, we will help equip the next generation of people who build and fix and do. So thank you for your resolution. Proud to stand here as a tradesman. Proud to have them, give them their support from this body.
Representative Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And thank you, Representative Coleman and Covarrubias, for bringing this resolution. The reason I'm here is because Representative Covarrubias wanted me to talk about the ranching part. And after he talked to me about this, I thought, yes, it fits in perfectly. Because you are a tradesman when you are a rancher. And I want to give you just a little bit, just for us, a couple minutes of a typical day in ranching this time of year. Starting out feeding cows in the morning, you find out you've got a heifer, you need to pull a calf, so you're a vet. But before long, you're out on the feed trail and you find out you've got a water problem, so you're a plumber. And then you find out that the pump isn't working, so you're an electrician. And then before the day is over, you realize you have a gate off that the bull took off and you're a welder. So it starts out as a typical day and you think of a very romantic lifestyle as a rancher, but you realize all of these trades fall into that. And since my grandfather was the blacksmith in Kim, Colorado, moved there in 1917 from Texas, he was well known throughout the area and he was the guy that fixed all the wheels, but he was the welder. And my dad became a welder. So when you come to my ranch, you'll see everything is set in iron and concrete because the air is so dry, the weather has been so dry for so many years that if you're going to have something last, you set it in concrete. And I grew up as a welder, as a father. Now, am I a good welder? No, I'm not a good welder. I do weld, but I'm not a good welder. And so the trades of ranching you learn as a child. And I do know a lot of young people that come out of their FFA groups, out of VOAG, and they go on and take a VOTEC. They might go and become a really good welder and have a job, but they'll come back to the ranch because all of these trades are so important. So you have a lot of different hats, but you also have a lot of different boots that you put on through the day because I'll guarantee when you get ready to work on that water tank, you're not going to leave on your good boots. You're going to put on those rubber boots. And I just want to say that ranching, as we think of it, is a simple thing, but it's not because, like I said, you go through all of these different trades maybe in one day. And so let's remember those. And in my district, I have one particular rural school that I would like to see turned into a Voc Tech school, and I'm hoping that I get to be here long enough to help do that, because we need more of those around. They get a start of it in VOAG, like I did the 4 years of VOAG. I was the first state farmer for the Kim chapter, and as a female. But I believe, and I get a kick out of my 6 children. They went to school at Kim or La Junta, and I'll say, well, didn't you learn that in VOAG? And they say, wait a minute, Mom, you forgot. I had such and such as a teacher and not such and such. So there are small schools out there that do a really good job getting kids started in these professions, and Kim School has been one of them. There's a gentleman by the name of Mr. Hollingsworth who's a very good welding teacher, and he did that for like 20, 30 years and gave a really good start to my children. And so I think that if we can get these starts and keep the trades going, that's what we need. A lot of the kids, like myself, I learned all of this as a child growing up on the ranch. Not everyone gets to do that. But I believe that ranching is also part of this resolution, and again, I thank you for asking me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Lewis. Representative Beskar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Representatives Covarrubias and Representative Coleman, thank you so much for bringing this resolution. I wasn't prepared to see this today. I'm so excited when I started reading through it and hearing what you were talking about. I come from the generation where I think we saw a shift in the country. My generation was taught, you go to college. No matter what, if you want to be anything, you go to college, you get your degree, and you're going to make a good living, and you're going to be fine. In fact, we did have VOTEC in my high school, but nobody talked to you about going and doing a VOTEC class, because you were supposed to go to college. You needed to focus your studies on getting that degree and moving forward. That was for people who maybe didn't want to go to college. Fast forward to when I was an academic advisor for high school students. My job was to try to convince these kids to go to college. And the more conversations I was having with them, the more I realized you can attempt to go to college, get into debt, and not be doing something you love. Or you can pick up a trade. Use your hands. Use your God-given talent and figure this out and make a decent living, a good living for you and your family. Only to realize, as I was trying to convince them to look into VOTEC classes, that we took them out of our schools. I think that's something that we are facing now. I know we just heard about it, maybe someday making more VOTEC as part of our education conversations, and I know that some of us are doing that. Some of us are pushing for apprenticeships and internships for high school students, and I think it's such a wonderful idea that we need to continue moving forward in. Some of the people nearest and dearest to me are people that work in the trades. Some of the people I trust the most in this life are people that work in the trades, and that's not, I'm not casting any kind of judgment here, but I'm just saying they work hard. They work hard, they work with their hands, they have a talent. Why would we not be pushing our students today to have options? Decide if a degree is good for you, but don't ever think that for 1 second going into a trade is a second choice. They're equal choices. And I applaud this resolution because I think this is starting more conversations that we've already been having in some of these areas. And I might be biased because I come from what we call the Steel City of the West. My grandfathers were both steel workers. I was one of the first people in my family to even attempt to go to college. I come from a long line of people that work with their hands, a long line of people who are a part of the trades. And for some reason, the conversation around my generation changed. And we forgot about the importance and the work, the hard work our tradespeople do every single day. I just want you to pause for a minute and imagine a world if we didn't have any tradespeople. We'd be scrambling. We'd be trying to figure out how to fix things, how to move forward, how to take care of other people. I obviously stand in strong support of this resolution. I hope we carry this idea of this resolution forward with us, because I know there's some bills coming forward even that talk about these very issues. And this is not a partisan issue. This is an important issue for the health and the well-being of our future Colorado. So thank you for bringing this.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's still an honor to serve with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's still an honor to serve with you, too.
I come here today to remind you that if you eat, you probably depend upon some of these folks who have very specialized skills. I'm standing here as agriculture's representative on this resolution. Today, with the equipment that we use in the industry of agriculture, we definitely depend upon people that are being trained in these trades. We hire mechanics on our farms nowadays. It used to be you could do that on your own. But with GPS and computer-driven and computer-operated combines, tractors, all of the things that we use in ag today, there are a number of farmers that are starting to hire these specialized trades. You know, we're kind of like the ranchers that were talked about. We start out in the morning figuring that we're going to raise a crop. But before it's all over, we have to have some help. These tractors and combines and all of the things that we use in today's industry are incredibly complicated. You know, one computer talks to the other computer, and pretty soon you're left out. We just haven't got to an auto-driven farm equipment yet, but it's on its way. So I stand today in respect of the people that will go get a trade. And I do appreciate the fact that this House of Representatives is now addressing that issue. This country will benefit from more people in the trades. This state will benefit from more people in trades. And our local communities will too. Take a look around and see the people that are helping the communities grow and thrive. It's them. And with that, I want to say that I congratulate Representative Coleman and Representative Covarrubias for taking this on and bringing it to the front of the House of Representatives. Thank you very much.
Further discussion, Representative Weissman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support and for a specific reason. Members, there are 3 area technical colleges in the state. I represent one of them, Pickens Tech. They are listed at the end of this resolution and the list of folks who will be getting copies of it, and I'm glad they're there. When we talk about career and technical education, that is what the ATCs do. That is what Pickens does. They do it inexpensively, an eighth or a tenth as much as some other options that may be out there for comparable education. They work with the industries who need the skills to tune the courses so that they match with the need and match with the professional certifications that one can obtain to progress in the industries. However, you know, you look back at least the last couple of years, we have not been funding ATCs at the same way that we've even been funding our 2-year schools, and we may or may not have a bill coming to us next week by which we can attempt to address that. I hope we consider it. Lastly, I would just say if members have not had the chance to visit Pickens or any of the ATCs, feel free to. I'm sure that the folks at Pickens would love to have you. It's about 35 minutes from here at 6th and Airport in North Aurora. Get in touch with them, drop by, and if you'd like, I'm happy to connect anybody to their management, and they can walk you around and show you what they do. Thank you.
Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My husband and I have been talking about the trades for, boy, as long as I can remember, talking to elected officials, talking to other businesses. When you own a construction company, you are always looking for skilled tradesmen, whether it's a carpenter, an equipment operator. It doesn't matter. You need someone who is good with their hands and willing to go out and work. And I think over the years, we have definitely done a disservice to our kids by telling them if you don't have a 4-year college degree, you're not worth as much as that electrician or that plumber or that auto mechanic who's out there working hard every day. And I think we've really prevented a lot of people from going into an industry that they are passionate about. You know, one thing we always told our kids, even though we own the company that we run, don't go into this company if it's not something you're going to enjoy. Because if you don't love what you do every day, then it is work. So make sure that whatever you go after, you love doing what you do. And I think we need to continue this conversation. We need to get some of these VOTEC programs back in the schools. My daughter was able to take a wood shop when she was still in high school in Douglas County. Douglas County High School was the only high school in the county that had a wood shop. Because when they built all those other new schools around the county, they didn't include them. And so once they removed them from one building, they had to remove them from all the buildings because they all had to be equal. They took away the ability for these kids to learn how to do something with their hands. And I can tell you, having worked in the construction industry, it's really rewarding at the end of the day to say, oh, look, we formed up that abutment today. Oh, we poured that bridge deck today. You can actually see the results of your labor for the day. And it is so much more rewarding than saying, oh, look, I moved that pile of papers from that side of my desk to the other side of the desk. That's awesome. So, members, I hope everybody takes this very seriously. I think we need to recognize the importance of the trades. We need them every day in our lives to make our worlds function. So let's make sure that we promote them, that we let people know that is an excellent opportunity for you. Those are excellent career choices that you're making, because we need them every day. And I just want to thank Representatives Covarrubias and Coleman for bringing this. As I said, it's something my husband and I have promoted for years. And I also want to recognize Representative Lewis for knowing the difference between concrete and cement. Thank you very much.
Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I certainly commend the sponsors of this resolution as well. And as you know, members, folks who have been here last year, we passed a bill to explore how to do more internships in this state and apprenticeships and getting students experience. And as some of you also know, I'm a teacher. I work in a youth correctional facility, and a number of our students participate in vocational training, things like masonry, construction, wiring. It's all really critical that we bring up the next generation of folks to work in the trades. Thank you for running this resolution.
Representative Benavides.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'll just take a second to actually support this resolution and thank the sponsors for bringing it. You know, my brother has carried a book in ironwork for over 40 years. He's run a construction business, has been a Signator business construction company since 1982. And I just want to say that we look at construction workers as just having skills, but the level of classroom work and the math involved in these technical careers is enormous. So when construction workers goes through an apprentice program, they generally earn about 45 semester hours towards an associate degree, and we don't do enough to convert that. And I think that's one we need to do for next year to make sure that that starts happening, because the state has to stand behind this, especially in light of what we're facing, the crisis we're facing in the number of construction workers in this state. So I support anything we can do to elevate the profession and move us towards reducing that limitation we have on construction workers. Thank you.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. About now, Representative Singer would probably think, okay, Wilson's going to say what now, like he usually does on these resolutions, but I'm going to get to that. I rise in strong support of House Resolution 18-1006. I'm excited that we're finally moving the needle. We're finally moving the needle from everyone needs a college education to everyone needs a job. And it disturbed me, I don't know whether it was last night or this morning or night before last, time flies when you're up here. But we still have a long ways to go, because if you watch the promotion on TV about all the freshman students that were getting all the information on how to go to college. And here we are talking about career tech. We actually pioneered this movement back in 2013 for some of you that were here back then. Started the emphasis on trade and career tech. We've come a long way, but as I said, we've got a long ways to go. If you don't hear anything else in this speech, listen to this one. 2/3 of your high school graduates this spring will not complete college. 2/3 of your high school graduates in every district in this House will not complete college. That's what this resolution is all about. Here's the other news flash. 100% of them will need a job. 100% will need a job. Now for the what now. How many of you, as parents, grandparents, have told your children and your grandchildren the opportunity for you is not in college, but in the trades? I won't ask for you to put up your hands because I know all of you aspire to have your children and grandchildren go to college and have a college degree and come back and live in your house without a job. That's the way it works in today's world. Let's move this needle. Thank you, Representative Coleman and Representative Covarrubias, for this resolution.
Representative Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank the sponsors for bringing this resolution. I come here as the daughter and the granddaughter of a family that worked in the trades. My dad and my grandfather were Minnesota construction, part of the Minnesota construction industry. So we here in the legislature have really been paying attention to this issue for quite a while, and I'm going to take this opportunity to be able to recognize our speaker who pulled together a group of people 2 years in a row, 2015 and 16, 2014 and 15, and we worked with Noel Ginsburg, who's now a private citizen here in Colorado, and who has really is known as the father of workforce development. And he has since started career-wise and an apprenticeship program here in Colorado. But our speaker worked with Noel Ginsburg, Representative Pabon, myself, other legislators here, in which we brought a package of 10 bills in one of the 20s.
2015 and 2016.
Years, and then 8 bills in the other. And so in which we were able to do a kickstart on workforce development here in Colorado. Why? 50% of the XL workforce is going to be retiring in the next 5 years. Plumbers and electricians, 50% of that workforce is retiring. Who will repair our toilets? Who will do our electrical work? We have had a real emphasis in the last 10, 20, 15, 20 years around everyone should go to college. And so we've been pushing everyone, 4-year degrees, 5-year degrees, go to college. And as a result of that, we have not had people who have gone into the trades. So that's why this work that we have done since the 20s, whichever
2015 and 2016 in
2015
particular.
and 2016 has been really important, and the continued work that we're doing to fill in those gaps is absolutely vital, and we need to continue that. That there is room for everybody, there is room for careers. We need to find the right career for the right people. So really want to say thank you, Madam Speaker, for your work. Representative Pabon, who likes to speak around how he thinks that he did the best workforce development bill that there is, and everyone else who has been involved in this efforts the last couple years, that we're on the right track. We need to continue this work on the right track. And so thank you very much for continuing this emphasis, Representative Covarrubias.
Thank you, Representative Kraft-Tharp, and we need to continue to work in strong partnership on these issues. Madam Speaker Pro Tem Danielson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll be brief. Thank you, members, for supporting this resolution and to the sponsors for bringing it. I just wanted to say that this is one step that we can take to show the skilled trades, the vocational technical training, the apprenticeships across the state that we're proud of them. We want to work to promote them. We believe in the opportunity that they provide Colorado workers and the service that they provide Colorado households. And it's nice to see these folks on the side here from representing the trades today. And I just also wanted to remind you, I know that you've all been invited to tour one of the apprenticeship facilities that are right nearby. I see Local 208, I see Local 9, sheet metal workers, and I've gone in and visited them, visited with their students, visited with the apprentices that are there. It shows, it's an example of the quality product that they work on and the quality workers that they represent. And I'm very proud to have you in the chamber with us today, so thank you for being here, all of you.
Representative Coleman and Representative Covarrubias.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, members, for all of your support. We ask for your aye vote.
Representative Covarrubias.
I'm impressed on how many people on both sides of the aisle came down to speak today, and very passionately. I was not expecting that. Just a sincere thank you.
All right, the question before us is the passage of H.R. 1006. All of those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed signify by saying no. H.R. 1006 is adopted. Representative Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
All right, seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. And on behalf of the entire state of Colorado General Assembly, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate the work that you do every single day. And with that, Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar until tomorrow, Thursday, March 22nd.
All right, seeing no objection, we will lay over the balance of the calendar. That takes us to announcements and introductions. Representative Harrod. And members, this is a tribute that we're going to do now, so please, may we please have your attention. Mr. Randall, please read the tribute.
The Senate and the House of Representatives convene in the 71st General Assembly hereby extend sincere commendations to Single Parents Day. Parents must invest immeasurable amounts of time, energy, and devotion when raising their children in order to provide them with the love, support, and guidance required to become responsible, productive, and successful adults. The responsibility of raising children in today's society is particularly difficult when it falls on the shoulders of a single parent. The number of single-parent families has more than doubled in the past 25 years, with more than 24 million U.S. children currently living in single-parent homes. The greatest need of every child is to be loved, whether the child lives in a single or two-parent family, and the dedication and achievement of single parents deserves the highest recognition. The members of the Colorado General Assembly are proud that Colorado has designated March 21st as Single Parents Day in recognition of the dedication and achievements of all single parents. On request of Representative Leslie Harrod and Senator Vicki Marble, given this 21st day of March 2018, State Capitol in Denver.
Representative Harrod.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, please be seated. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time this morning to honor our single parents. As many of you guys know, I was raised by a single mom who served in the Army. Seeing her struggle and her sacrifice really made me and my brother and my family into the people that we are today. So it's my honor to bring this resolution for the second year in a row, which is not very long compared to the woman who I'm about to introduce. Janice Moglin is here. She is executive director for the Coalition for Single Parents Day and has been working on this resolution and working on this issue since 1993. This is her 25th year. I think all 25 coming to the General Assembly to be recognized. She is a true asset to this community. One of my favorite quotes that she says is that families are like diamonds. They come in all shapes and sizes. So to all of the single parents, to all of the single mothers and fathers, and to all of the children who are raised by single parents, today we honor you and we honor Executive Director Janice Moglin. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank Representative Harrod for bringing this tribute. As many of you know, I always love coming down here and talking about my family. Those that know me really well know how close I am to my family. And I, too, was raised by a single mom. And so on my birthday, I do want to just give a quick shout out to Mom. Hey, thank you so much for being the best mom, the best parent, and doing it all on your own. Thank you.
Aww. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Crafthorpe.
So Business Affairs and Labor Committee, if I could have your attention, please. We will not have any meeting tomorrow on Thursday, but please anticipate being able to meet on Tuesday. So just want to let you know ahead of time for your scheduling purposes. Thank you.
Further announcements and introductions, Representative Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of Energy and Transportation, I need your attention because this isn't just what bills we're listening on, but we are starting at 2 p.m. instead of 1:30. We are starting at 2 p.m. Energy and Transportation members today.
Representative Landgraf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, today at noon is the Behavioral Health Caucus. It's upstairs in room 354, and there will be a presentation on shortage of children's mental health residential services. and I believe lunch is served. Anyway, and then Monday, March 26th, noon to 1, across the street in 603 is the Veterans Caucus. We are going to get back on track with speakers who will inform us on this month. It's vets, military spouses, and workforce issues. And that topic may change, but if you want to go, contact Jerry so we'll have enough lunches. Thank you.
All right, Representative Foote.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. State Affairs, there's a couple of changes to note. First of all, we're going to be in room 271 this afternoon, not the normal room, but room 271. And there is a change in bill order. The first two bills are the same. That'll be House Bill 1268 by Representative Gray and House Bill 1213 by Representative Leonard. And then we'll have Senate Bill 15 by Representatives Williams and Liston third, and then Senate Bill 97 by Representative Van Winkle fourth. So that's the change of order between 97 and 15. Again, we're in room 271 this afternoon, starting at 1:30.
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Local Government, looking forward to seeing all of you today at 1:30. We'll be hearing one bill, and that's it.
All right, Representative Herod and Assistant Minority Leader West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, our working group on the Department of Corrections is nearing its April 1st deadline to report back to you all. In our journey, we're having another meeting today at noon in room 109 downstairs, so please join us if you're available.
Representative Herod.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. All members are welcomed, and we are nearing at the end. So if you're interested in what's going to be proposed to the House for the long bill, please do join us in regards to the Department of Corrections. Thank you.
Further announcements or introductions? Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just an announcement, Capital Development Committee. I know we worked really hard today, but our work's not done. We'll be meeting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, tomorrow we'll have the San Luis Valley potatoes, the Colorado San Luis Valley potatoes here. Please hopefully grab a bag or two and enjoy. Thank you.
All right, further announcements or introductions? Representative Pabode.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you, too.
Finance Committee, listen up. We are going to be meeting, let's see, it's 10:25, let's say 10:40 in LSBA. We have at least six bills up, maybe more, we'll find out. But we have a full committee schedule upon adjournment, so let's get in there at 10:40 and make it happen. And we do have Representative Coleman, who has been called up to the Finance Committee, so we're expecting big things out of him today. And don't forget the Tech Caucus, Senate Committee Room 357 at 12 p.m. Blockchain, Bitcoin, all of it. Exciting stuff. You don't want to miss it.
I wish I had time to listen in on that. It sounds like a great discussion. Representative Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Having asked and received permission from the Majority Leader, I would ask for the body's permission to be gone on March 26th and March 27th.
All right, you're approved. Further announcements or introductions? Going once, going twice. Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess till 1 o'clock today.
All right, so no objection. The House will stand in recess until 1 p.m. today.